Here we go, guys. This is a Twitter page that I didn't know existed. It's called the Libs of TikTok. The losers more. Is this an L? You guys would perceive this as an L, right? I'm not doing this. Whatever. L for libs. Anyway. Listen, I like to make fun of people on TikTok, It's part of my channel here. It's a lot of fun. But I also think that it's time to put in mind that, like, what we end up doing here, a lot of people, everybody does it, but in this case, conservatives are doing, is they're taking, like, the most outlier, unrealistic person in perspective, and they're like, that's all of the left, All of the left are, and by the way, this person, I'm going to just say this person because I don't fucking know. This is a video about being a bunny self and rabbit self. Just letting you guys know that. So, which by the way, I am bunny self, rabbit self, But these are like an outlier. But people like to do this. They go, look at this is the bad guy. This is the weirdo. I'm not that they're not wrong. This person's probably not bad, but they're a little weird. I'm not trying to be rude. You know what I'm saying? But they clearly, that was a weird, clearly. They clearly don't represent the entire, like, population of the left. Most people are moderate, whatever. But, enough about that. Let's just see how silly this video is. Let's have some fun, okay?
I made a really loud, yelly video about this, but I decided I will approach this in a more calm but stern manner.
That makes sense, because you look like the kind of person that just exudes, like, a calmness and a sternness, like a loving father.
A lot of the people using kitty and pup and bunny self pronouns are neurodivergent minors.
Now listen, I just want you guys to know, when I was a neurodivergent minor, because I have ADHD, it was more serious when I was younger, a little less, easy to manage. What I used to do, I would take my medication. I wasn't calling myself bunny self. What I was doing was I was counting all of the letters and the words that were being spoken to me by the teacher, as well as pretending that I was a Pokemon master in the middle of school. So I would throw Pokeball. Like, you can't really move a lot. You sit in your desk and you do like this, You're like bounces all around the room. It's comparable to when you would drive on a long car ride and you would, like, pretend there was, like, a skateboarder next to you. We all did it. I used to imagine it was Kratos from God of War, just like, yeah, you get what I'm saying. But I guess now people are calling themselves bunnies and puppies.
It is a very common neurodivergent experience to feel a disconnect from being human.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
And from the societal expectation of the gender you were assigned at birth.
Listen, I'm totally fine with, like, non-binary people, because it makes sense. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, dude, there's boys, there's girls, and then there's, like, a mixture between the two. You know what I mean? And that's, like, what non-binary means to me. It's some kind of in the realm of, like, oh, I'm not quite this, but I'm not quite this. Okay, I can conceive the logic rule set there, but I just want you guys to know, bunnies aren't genders. Okay? Neither are fucking rabbits. I'm not calling you bunny or a rabbit. You're annoying. Okay? The reality is that you have younger people who are kind of weird, and nobody wants to talk to them, so they create uniquenesses about themselves, and then they find other people that are just as weird, and they create more uniquenesses about themselves, and then after they've created a small group of weirdos, they decide to gatekeep that small group, right? And we all did it, right? I was weird too. I liked metal music. Like, only weirdos liked metal music in school. And you guys know that that's true. And if you disagree, then you're a weirdo. You just don't want to take accountability for it. So yeah, that's what's really going on. And it is a lot of young people. The neurodivergency is irrelevant. Like, I don't like that we're like, yeah, like, it's just, like, weird because what they are trying to do is say that, like, now if you discredit bunny self, you're ableist, and it's not true. Okay, it's not true. Kids are just weird, and kids create cliques, and they overly identify with things, and then they're toxic about it. I've talked about it before. I used to be into metal music, but, like, I would be like, oh, that's not metal. Oh, this is metal. This is real. You know what I mean? I was a dumb little kid. I was an asshole. Most people do this kind of shit.
So when you have this intersection of feeling a disconnect from being human and
Yeah.
a disconnect from the societal expectation of gender,
Yeah.
whether you're neurodivergent or not, a lot of people have this experience who are neurodivergent. It's just very common with neurodivergent people.
No.
When this intersects,
I feel like nowadays we're prescribing like mental disorders to people when the reality is that like they just didn't grow up in a way that allowed them to interact with people. Like if you think about it, when I was younger, you know, you'd go to preschool. Preschool's a big deal. And you'd hang out with your friends a lot, and I would go outside, and I would ride my bikes, and I would play games outside, and we would have a lot of fun, and then blah, blah, blah. Nowadays, you throw your kid in front of Fortnite, and they're not really getting social interaction. And so now because like there are some things, like for instance, about being autistic that like align with being a disconnected kid that never grew to talk to people. And so I feel like we're confusing shelteredness with neurodivergentness, and we're even prescribing that problem, but they're not really. It's just that their mom probably didn't love them enough to force them to leave the house or something. You know what I mean? Probably nothing to do with their mom, but like it's possible maybe their parents didn't care about them and didn't like help them develop and talk to other people. But more likely is that like the hobbies nowadays are very centralized around not leaving the house. So
you get noun self pronouns and animal noun self pronouns.
So like just so that we know, animals, a boy animal would identify as a boy, or if they were trans or something, a boy or a girl or a non-binary. The animal isn't going to identify as a bunny. Like that doesn't make sense for a bunny. Imagine you had a bunny going, I'm bunny self. No, it doesn't make sense. You are a bunny, and then you would have some other gender identification. This is fucking dumb.
If you are not comfortable using someone's pronouns because you assume it's kink for some weird ass reason,
I don't assume it's kink. I just assume you're kind of dumb.
Don't interact with them and just shut up about it.
Wait, so you're saying, hold on, this is the message. If I find it weird, if I'm never going to call you bunny self, I will never say anything outside of he, she, or they, or them, and all that. My advice to you is interact with them, ask them their fucking name. What's your name? And if you tell me something like Sonic Chew, I'm going to tell you to fuck yourself. Give me your real name, you child. Okay? What they're saying, though, is that if you're not going to call somebody the correct pronoun, even though it's completely out of control, just don't associate yourself with them. That's why they're like that in the first place, because they probably have no friends. I'm not trying to be rude. By the way, though, like, yeah, maybe bunny and bunny self is like a kink thing. Could you imagine? The whole setup was like a bunch of kids identify as a bunny rabbit. Is that a kink? For kids? You kids shouldn't be talking about kinks. Now you're added another layer where like maybe people are identifying with this stuff because they're becoming too sexual younger. Yucky, dude. What the fuck's happening, bro? None of this sound, bro. When I was young, I wasn't kinky. Okay, I was playing Super Smash Brothers and playing with my friends. Local co-op wasn't so bad because your friends would come over and you'd play Super Smash Brothers. That was cool. Now everything's online, you know? That was terrible. That was terrible. That was terrible. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'd say our generation is doomed, but they're going to grow out of this. Most people like this will probably grow out of it, and if they don't, we're probably not going to talk to them. You know what I mean? You know, like imagine, like you're just probably not going to talk to them. Like if I saw an adult like this, I'd be like, meh. I wouldn't hate them, but I would just be like, probably not going to be your friend. You know? You know what I mean? Like you know, you understand what I'm saying? That's the way that you do it. You know, everybody associates themselves with people based on like what they like and whatnot. You know, I see somebody, the first thing that you see is obviously what the person looks like. So, you know, I look at somebody like this and I'm going to go, they're going to be a little weird. Probably not going to be a friend with them. I'm not ruling it out 100%, but I'm just saying. I feel like, I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be fucking rude about it.